Okay, give me a second, guys. Let me turn on the Instagram live. Today I am going to be going over a few potential interesting off-market properties that I saw on Facebook Marketplace in the last week since 10/13/2024. So let me go ahead and find my shared window and we will jump right into it. So just for clarification purposes, I am going to be reviewing multiple properties, but I'll be focusing on those that seem to be either in a very good zip code, fast moving zip code with low levels of inventory, or I can highlight a couple of really slow moving zip codes with a lot of inventory just to point out the difference. As a reminder, every week I collect data from maybe like 45 different Facebook groups. Not every week I have time to collect data from all 45, but I do as much as I can and then I review them all together on this live stream. So let's go ahead and start rolling. We can see that we have a couple of the one that I highlighted here. For example, let's take this one in Mesquite, 3-2, very little data, but um, the initial price for the property is 165. Not sure what the ARV or the rehab would look like. Therefore, it's very hard for me to provide any additional information. But the inventory in that area is at 2.48 months of inventory, which is decent. It's not good, but decent. For me, the best months of inventory are those under 2 months, then 2.5 months, and then 3 months. Anything above 3 months, I consider to be a slow market where the buyers are likely to be able to select from too many properties, and you might really need to be either to really shine or to drop your prices several times in order to sell. So at 2.5 months of inventory, this is not a bad zip code. So if anybody is interested in flipping in Mesquite, this could be an interesting one depending on the ARV of the property. There was one in Dallas 75217. Now, I don't like the floor plan, 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bath. Just generally, guys, if you're flipping to make it into a rental, I think it would make more sense. But as far as selling those, I'm working with buyers, first-time home buyers, who are in low price ranges, like under 2. And even the buyers who are under 250 prefer to continue to rent rather than to spend money on 3.1s or 3.1.5s. So just FYI, the mood again among the buyers is that it's easier for them to rent and to find a three bedroom 2 bath rental than to spend money on a 3.1 of any kind. Not to say that they do not sell, they sell. You just be very careful because they are definitely a product that is much more difficult to push. So in my opinion, 155 might be high for, depends on the area of course, but 155 might be high for a resale. Now I wanted also to highlight that, for example, this is how different the areas of Dallas are in terms of saturation, market saturation with unsold properties. So for example, in this particular case, the 75217 zip code has only 1.8 months of inventory, which means that if all the properties that are available in zip code were sold and no more properties were at market, it would take almost 3 months to sell the currently available properties. But in Dallas, in a 75215, just a couple of zip codes down, you have 9 months of unsold inventory, which means that if you add a house to the market, it might take you 9 months to sell that property. And you need to be accounting for that in your holding calculations of your holding costs, how long you will need the loan for, etc. So just FYI that we have a property in Dallas at a very interesting entry point $50,000, but the months of inventory are huge in that specific zip code. Okay, let's take a look at one more in Dallas, 75208, another 3-1. I see a lot of 3-1s hitting the market recently. I think the owners know that it's harder to sell a 3-1. Nevertheless, at 240 in the just the purchase, not even counting the rehab or the holding costs, with a potentially $400,000 as the ARV, I do not know. I just don't know what the demand is for 3-1s. Now, be kind of advised that this calculation is the demand for 3-2s. So I do not know how slow or fast 3-1s would be moving, but I would say if you have a 3-1, take that number and maybe triple it to be on the safe side, and that would be what I would estimate as a holding for 3-1, unless you make it at a very attractive price. Okay, let's take a look what else we have on this one. Colony, Arlington. So there is one in Arlington with 2.16 months of inventory. That zip code is moving pretty fast. 217 as the entry price. Not sure about the ARV, not provided. And it's a 3-2. So in case you were thinking about looking for stuff in Arlington. Okay, what are my dates? 10-10. Okay, so we already covered the rest during my last week review. Now let's take a look at a couple of more here. So where are my dates? 10-16, 10-15. Okay. We have an interesting one in Hazlet. It is a 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath. The market is moving pretty fast in Hazlet. 2.56 months of inventory. The entry price is $400. It says that the ARV on that one is $580. Now notice that in this particular case, at $400, you are already at almost 70% ARV, and that doesn't even include repairs. So if it needs more than, let's just say, 1 or 2% of 580 in terms of repairs, rehab, that you might be careful considering this property, because you may not fit into the 70% formula. Okay, we have a couple in Burleson, Mesquite. As you can see, higher holding times in these two zip codes. That's why I'm not highlighting them. We have one in Dallas with a pretty fast moving zip code at 2.4 months of inventory. 75040, 211 at 163. Again, my warning about 2-1s and 3-1s hold. And what I typically would like to recommend is, if you're looking at 2-1s, 3-1, or 1-1, consider it to be a rental, or you're rehabbing for a turnkey landlord investment, but not for a resale purchase. It's just people who are already renting, they are comfortable staying at their rent in a lot of times. And for them, if they're going to move and spend time and money on moving, they are going straight for 3-2s, not even looking at 3-1s or 2-1s. Okay. Dallas. This one is getting close to 3 months of inventory, so slower, slightly slower moving zip code in Dallas. Another 3-1 at almost $200,000 of an entry price. Okay, what else? We have 10-15. Grand Prairie, another 3-1. I'm telling you, I'm seeing a huge influx of 3-1s lately. 179. The ARV is projected to be 280. It's currently at 94% of its ARV. So the rehab better be close to 7%, 7 to 10% of the price, but no more. Then we have one in Colleyville, 5 bedrooms, 4 baths, 2 half bath, and a 2-car garage. It's a luxury unit. currently priced at almost 900, and they do not provide the ARV. Now, note that in Colleyville, we have very little inventory, and therefore the months of inventory are under 2 months of inventory. Okay, we have another Grand Prairie. This time is 3-2, a better floor plan, much better floor plan. Entry price is 259, 260 basically. Fort Worth, another 3-2. Entry price 275. Watauga, no, yeah, Watauga. I guess this one. Watauga, 3-2, 215 entry price. Bedford, 3, how little information a lot of people are providing about the property. North Richland Hills, Benbrook, all are 3-2s. Arlington 5-2. Now this 5-2 is interesting with an entry price of only 250. I would say that this is the most interesting one I've seen so far on the spreadsheet right here. Then we have another 3-2 in Holton, 165, Grand Prairie 200, Burleson 140, Benbrook 3-2, 212, Richland Hills 3.1 and a half, 160, North Richland Hills 120, 130 basically, and then Fort Worth at 240. I must say, of all the one that I've seen, this one and this one, well, it's already it. No, I don't like. Only the one that I highlighted. This is the most interesting one. I wonder what the condition on that one would be. Okay, let's take a look what we have in this spreadsheet. Okay, we have Fort Worth, another 3-1 at 130. ARV is 2.5. Currently it's at 62.5% of its ARV. We have an interesting one in Hazlet, 3-2, 66% ARV. See 3-2, 3-1, 3-2, 3-1.5, 3-1.5, 3-2s. Lots of threes. Okay, and we're out of data for this week, and then this is our last spreadsheet to look at. So we got 3-1, 3-1.5. Okay, 3-1, 3-1.5, 3-2 in Mesquite. That's it. I don't have a lot of interesting ones. Sometimes I have a ton of interesting properties. This week I see a lot of 3-1s and other unfavorable floor plans, but it is what it is. The market does what it does at this time of the year. If you guys have any questions about how to take a look at the properties or get more information, pictures, more data on one of the property that you saw on the spreadsheet, just let me know. And for your information, all of the information about these properties is posted on my propshop1.com website. We have a forum where we post all of these properties with as much detail as we can. So if you're interested in, instead of waiting for one day per week review, if you want to see them as they're coming in almost in real time, make sure to contact me, ask me how to view them on PropShop One, and I will direct you at that time. Thank you so much. I hope that was an interesting presentation, or this was at least somewhat interesting. Hope you saw a couple of properties that you could potentially use for your business, and let me know how I can help.